Issue 176. After a few panels are wasted on Sonic recapping the situation and not holding Amy, Sonic explains bitterly to Knuckles about the egg grapes. They're prison pods that turn life force into fuel or something. I was kinda busy being beaten up to catch all of Eggman's ranting. Sonic tells his friends to start fixing up the base while he's going to the lab alone, much to Tails' chagrin. Tails snaps at Sonic in frustration that if Sonic was really so capable that he'd be able to free his friends alone, Knothole wouldn't have gotten the fate it did. Even though that's not really Sonic's fault. I mean, the Egg Fleet came and destroyed Knothole. Sonic can't exactly fly and destroy all those Egg Fleet airships himself. Plus, he didn't really know what was coming. The two glare at each other briefly, and Nicole says that she has a plan. Tails makes a UFO while Sonic is sitting in it with his arms crossed, all sour about it since he's so mad at Eggman that he wants to rush in and let all of his anger out at him right away by himself. The UFO starts heading for Eggman's base, and as Eggman wastes panels pointlessly bragging like a predictable villain, at one point Elias is called the weakest king ever, and his wife reminds him that she married him for his strength and bravery in the first place. This would have had some impact if we actually got to see how they got together. Instead, I'm not sure how he showed her those traits of his. I loved the few times when he was like an action hero, like when he went on a mission with Sonic and Jeffrey, but we didn't really get to see any of that. Even though seeing Sally's brave prince be like a freedom fighter in his own right would have been cool. Eggman activates the egg grapes with Snively, and Sonic panics at the possibility that he's too late again, and Nicole reads a port access up top and says she should be plugged in there. Everyone gets busted out as Sonic, Amy, Tails, and Knuckles destroy the egg grapes pathetically easily, which is really implausible since I'd expect the egg grapes to be made of much harder to break material than that. Also, for some reason Charmy's hurt or something, I'm not sure why. I don't think the panel showed it off very well. Did he get Eggman to activate only his egg grape, serving as a vital distraction? Eggman runs away, yelling at Snively for missing 3 people with his teleporting lasers, and Snively says 3 out of how many hundred, which is weird. He didn't miss that many people. Then Tails rips off a part of something technology-like with Nicole near him because he's that strong, I guess. And Nicole says that without Adam, Eggman's systems are wide open for her to damage, because Eggman never bothered to fix that issue apparently. Dr. Quack says he doesn't have any of his tools to help Charmy just as Mammoth Moggle and Fang show up. I guess they were captured by Eggman too, since they're standing around here like it's nothing. But he says Charmy's at least stable, and Nicole says she's gonna finish preparations at home. This confuses Tails, and she says there's no time to explain and orders Tails to stay with the group. He reluctantly leaves, hoping her plan will work. Sally wonders if they could put as many people as they could on Flying Saucer, while the heroes will hold off any intruders. Sonic then says no, and Sally nags him that running away is not always a good plan. And then she's baffled to learn that Nicole is the one who made their plan. Why is she so surprised? Either way, this convinces Sally of its legitimacy because she respects Nicole's intelligence, I assume, and she tells everyone to stick together, as Sonic and Tails look ashamed and regretful, trying to apologize to each other about their earlier outbursts at each other. It was a high-stress situation, and if Tails hadn't stopped Sonic, he wouldn't have saved everyone because he wouldn't have brought Nicole with them. Then Eggman shows up in his battle suit, telling everyone to get back into those egg grapes. Pretty stupid of him to say since I thought they were all destroyed. He saw it happen. As a few people get teleported away with lasers recapturing some people nearby, Sonic tells everyone where to run. Eggman says to Snively that he's recaptured most of the people and the rest are trapped at a dead end. Snively isn't allowed to finish his train of thought about the teleporting beam. After Sonic decides not to tell Sally his plan because it'll ruin the surprise for Eggman, getting her all panicked, he lets himself and his friends get teleported away, amusingly joking about going to oblivion. And Snively yells at Eggman that he's been trying to tell him the entire time that the teleportation frequency was tampered with, and there's nobody in the reserve egg grapes. Oh, reserve egg grapes! So that's how Eggman still had egg grapes left. He was talking as if he meant get back in the same ones you were just in. He wouldn't have said back if... I don't know. Eggman angrily says that he's remote launching the egg fleet now and orders Snively to track down the frequency and tell him where the heroes are. It turns out everyone's been teleported to the Nanek City, which, by the way, looks like a kind of golden utopia, like Sky Sanctuary with a castle and everything. I really love what Nicole's done with the place. Well, I assume it was Nicole. It's good that this concept was actually taken advantage of after just sitting there for so long. Somehow, Nicole even rebuilt the Lake of Rings, and is naturally asked if it actually will be able to produce rings like the old one. I've read all the way up to almost Sonic Universe 1 by this point, and I still don't know if the Lake of Rings can do that. I mean, that wouldn't really make any sense unless she managed to replicate Nate's ring producer. As Bunny's hugging Antoine, Antoine and her rejoice about how all of their homes have been perfectly replicated in the Nanite City, or as he puts it, have been rebuilted. I fully understand why he'd make that mistake, as rebuilt sounds like an irregular past participle that would naturally annoy a French speaker. I wish he made more mistakes like that with English. It would better take advantage of the fact that he's a French guy with a French accent, and at least make him a little interesting. Even the Castle Acorn is here, and it looks just like how it was back in Mobotropolis. Nicole then shows up in her Lynx form, pretty epically considering how everyone turns to face her, and she even has a normal text box instead of a green one, implying that she actually has a regular organic person's voice, not a creepy eye voice Sonic World. And I wouldn't say this Nanite City reset button is too far-fetched, because it makes perfect sense that Nicole would want to create a backup of Knothole just in case. Hopefully she'll be able to make a backup of the backup. Nicole explains with a smile that this place is called New Mobotropolis, and Eggman had forced her to reveal it before it was fully finished. Also, it makes perfect sense that she'd go barefoot as part of her organic form because she wants to fully experience life that way, and that would include getting to feel the ground beneath her feet. Sally hugs her, saying overjoyed that she didn't think she could maintain that form, and Nicole, looking adorably happy with the hug, takes her hand to join in, and says that she couldn't maintain the form until she found something robust enough to maintain her. She built enough holographic matrices to give her full use of the city. Does that mean her organic body is restricted to New Mobotropolis? By the way, kind of annoying how long the name of the damn city is. It's already almost impossible to pronounce. I'm probably just going to call it Nanite City. Everyone's naturally full of questions, and I hope Nicole's going to answer all of them in time, like how she has enough power to do this. I still don't know that. The story ends with Eggman showing up with Zegfleet, but it's not enough to diminish the happy ending. The only story of this issue was written by Ian Flynn. Pretty simple conclusion to everyone being trapped in egg grapes, as Sonic and his remaining friends just destroy them ridiculously easily when I'd expect them to be made of better materials than that. And then Nicole reprograms the teleporting beam to send everyone to her Nanite City backup of Knothole, New Mobotropolis. Easily her most crowning achievement, especially with the look of the place. I expected the Nanite City of hers to look all alienatingly technological, but instead it looks exactly like Knothole. Great job, Nicole! I'm sure the people of this city will be forever grateful to you and always respect you as a person. It's also great that she can just walk around organic as much as she wants now, at least in the city, I don't know anywhere else. That's her second crowning achievement. She's definitely at her best at this point. She's got such an interesting thing about her wanting to experience something we all take for granted, being organic, for the first ever time and learn everything about it. It's very interesting seeing, like, a fish out of water, like, all this is new to her. So yeah, it was a happy ending. And even the Egg Fleet arriving was simply there to tell us there's more action to come. It also makes sense that Eggman was too arrogant to let Snidely warn him not to use the teleporting beam, since it looked like it was working and he wanted to enjoy the moment.